Welcome back. I think I've thrown everybody with that little teaser I threw out before the break. I've not just thrown the audience, the connection between our three guests this evening, Billy Sharp, Simon Moore and Mike Pickering. These three guys have no idea what I was talking about either. The connection between you. You share something in common. And you didn't know, did you?
Nope.
You didn't know until I told you.
I think it was Simon that threw the spanner in the works.
Yeah.
Was it? He just sneaked in the early years of his career.
Yeah. All three of you were at Southampton at one time. Both you two played for Southampton. You were only there as a kid, weren't you?
Yeah, I was only there for a season as a 12-year-old lad. I used to have to get the boat over to training because obviously I'm from the Isle of Wight. So I used to have to get my dad to give me a lift to the boat, get a taxi to Marchwood training grounds, taxi back, get a boat home and get back at like 12 and have school the next day. So it's quite interesting. Being
from the Isle of Wight has got its advantages though, because you're an international, aren't you? You're an international goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Sort of. Well, you do. You play for the Isle of Wight.
Yeah, obviously I'm proud to be from the Isle of Wight. It was a great place to grow up. And
it doesn't disqualify you from ever playing for England.
No, it doesn't. And that's the thing, like obviously playing for England's like, I class myself as an Englishman. I do get a bit of banter sometimes saying that you're an islander and you need a different passport to go over there, etc. But yeah, if I ever got the call up for England, I would be an English player.
Yeah, well, it could happen. Championship next season, fingers crossed. You just don't know, do you?
You never know.
You don't know where this game will take you.
You don't.
You really
He's
don't.
got many years ahead of him as well.
He certainly has. You've got many years behind you. I'm not saying you haven't got many years. I'm not saying you haven't got many years ahead of you. I'm sure you have, Mike. But just in case you don't know, there will be a generation that doesn't know, and through no fault of their own. You played alongside or with another famous Mick McCarthy at Barnsley, 1974.
Well, I never actually played alongside him, but we were at the club at the same time. So I think they were a fourth division side. They had to sell players every season, so they would never have played two young centre halves in the fourth division. So I went to Southampton when they were interested in me, and Mick got in the side, and then he moved on to Man City, I think. So.
And you came to Sheffield Wednesday courtesy of Jack Charlton?
Yeah. Well, I spent about 15, 18 months at Southampton. Really enjoyed it, but then wasn't in the team. So I just said to Laurie one day, I need to play. I want to play in the first team. If you don't think I'm good enough, let me go. And
were you with Terry Corran at Southampton?
Yeah, he came. I signed in the May, I think, and he signed about October, November in that following season. So, but then I came to Wednesday, and then he followed me to Wednesday.
The rest is history and folklore, including a promotion, 110 appearances. You were captain on the day of a certain game in 1979, Boxing Day Massacre. Yeah. Even those who were, weren't around in those days. Perhaps Simon, have you ever heard of the Boxing Day Massacre, Simon?
No, I haven't, to be honest with you.
There's somebody who doesn't. Yeah,
I'll tell him afterwards.
Yeah, how many years ago is that now?
79.
38 years ago. So you were -6 or 7.
That's not the one that hurts me. The one at Wembley hurts me when I was into me Bovril and Pye, and Chris Waddle scored after 36 seconds.
93.
Yeah, that's the one.
93. Mind you, if you're going to concede a goal, concede a good one. It was a bit special, was that? Yeah, 2-1. You can have some special moments coming up. I was going to say, Billy, before we leave the subject of the kind of week you've had behind, why on earth you described Billy as a nippy striker. Why do you carry, for want of a better word, this fat tag? Well, where does that come from?
Fat tag. I think I made a rod for my own back. I was at Doncaster Rovers and the manager, Sean O'Driscoll. We just got beaten heavily 4-0 and we was having a little bit of an argument because he was going on about how well we played and I was saying we didn't play that well, we just lost 4-0.
Right.
And he put me in my corner and said, you just sit there and listen because when you're arguing with me, you're just a fat lad from Sheffield. And the lads were laughing at me, and the week after we had Sheffield United and the kit man had done me a t-shirt saying fat lad from Sheffield, and I was never going to celebrate against them, so I decided to just lift the t-shirt instead, just to, if anyone forgot I was from Sheffield.
You use it to your advantage, and it's great that you can kind of laugh at yourself, and it's there on your Twitter page. Hence, the Gary Medine jibe didn't affect you over much.
There's been some very good fat players in the past as well, so
They have.
not everybody can be
They have.
look like Simon Moore when you got your top off.
Have you heard of William Falk?
No.
Should have, mate. Every time you walk through the tunnel at the ground, he's there on the left.
Yeah.
Fatty Falk.
That's it, folks, yeah.
Yeah. Of Sheffield
I like the
United
sound of his
players.
shorts, got standing going.
You've got to have a look at that, because he's
Okay.
probably the most famous goalkeeper in Sheffield United's history, and you won't call Billy Sharp fat after you've seen the photograph of him.
Well,
There you go.
Paddy Kenny,
Yeah.
he was fatter than me.
There's
He won't mind me saying that.
There's another. Mick, Mike, not Mick. You were referred to as Mick by
I'm
most
really not
journalists.
that bothered, really.
But
Just so
really
long
am
as
I.
I've been called worse, put it that way.
Playing for Barnsley, you've got to be Mick.
That, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Before we substitute you, as we have to on this
Terrible.
show occasionally, and you were telling me when I was saying we're going to have to go roll on, roll off, you said you'd never been subbed in your career, correct?
I don't think so, no. But they didn't used to have subs in the first few years of my career, so that was probably the reason why.
Sent off then?
Yeah, I've got quite a good disciplinary record. I've been sent off too often for a centre half, you know. But going back to Billy's, you know, captaincy, I deemed it such an honour, really. I think it brought the best out of me, really, because I never was going to let anybody down in the team, you know, because it was just such a great honour to be the skipper, and eventually I became the club captain as well. So, you know, it was a great honour, and I think you should go on and, you know, get your 30 goals this season.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
There's an owl to a blade. It's all very friendly in the studio tonight, isn't it, really? Billy even said
Oh,
some nice
we're all
things
Sheffield,
about-
aren't we?
We are. It's a great city with two massive clubs.
Yeah. I think it'd be excellent if, you know, the two teams were in the same division. Whether it happens this year or whether it doesn't, I don't know. I think it's just excellent for the city. I think it just gives them, you know, it gives a buzz to the city, I think, really.
Absolutely. Before you go, just an expert view on the centre-back issues that Sheffield Wednesday appear to have had lately.
Yeah.
Obviously, Tom Lees is a big loss, out injured.
Yeah.
And that was a great partnership with Louvens and will be again when Lees is back. Vincent Sasso's come in, has proved to be a little bit error-prone. Do you see that a concern in that position, or what?
Yeah, I think I expected him to, you know, purchase a centre half in the window. I was a bit disappointed he didn't, because Sasso he looked an unknown quantity, and then I thought, well, maybe if he has a few games get under his belt, he might, you know, come through, you know. But unfortunately, at Leeds, he just made a schoolboy error of, like, you never let the ball you never duck under the ball that's going across the 6-yard box, regardless of whether you got a shout. You know, I mean, he was at the front, or he was towards the front post, so you know, everything's behind him. He's obviously not known that Louvens was not picking Wood up, and I think Wood would have muscled Louvens out of it anyway. You know, great touch, and then it's in the back of the net. You know.
In fairness to Carlos has got full faith in him, as he said today, I believe. And I tell you what, he scored 2 fantastic goals against, was it Blackburn?
Yes.
From crosses.
Well, that's why I thought he was
Sasso,
going to sort of go on to another level, but unfortunately, I think he's gone backwards. They were showing, a couple of the players against Leeds were just showing a little frailties and lack of confidence. You know, and that's, you can't really have that in a team that.
But you're tipping a happy end to the season, judging from your comments in the first half.
Yeah, I think I've been saying in every interview that we're going to give somebody a real good thumping at home or away. Probably more likely away, because we seem to be playing better away from home than we are at home. But you know, if we get this expansive passing game together, you know, with Wallace and Bannon and Lees, if he gets back in the side, before the end of the season. You know, that's the game that, you know, we expected from last season. I think on the other side, teams do get behind the ball and park the bus. You know, it's like your home games. You know, it's a big game coming to Bramall Lane. You know, so. You know, it's like quite a big game coming to Hillsbury.
And the crowds have been phenomenal. Mike, thanks so much. I'm sorry about the board having to go up and the substitution, but the consolation is when you sit on the subs bench, you can eat a pie, you see. So if you just go over there, James Gregg's left you half of the pie over the subs bench, and thank you so much for coming in. Really appreciate it. Thank you. What about this? A player on the field eats a pie. That's the next step, isn't it? While taking a penalty, possibly. What do you reckon?
I've not done a pie, but I've done a hot dog, playing for Nottingham Forest.
Have you?
Yeah, Blackpool away.
Have you?
Nottingham Forest fans was on the side of the pitch. The away fans were down the side, and I scored, wheeled away to the Nottingham Forest fans, and as I went over there, one of the fans put his arm around me, had me in a headlock, but he had his hot dog like right in my mouth, so I took it off him, had a bite, it was covered in tomato sauce. It was repeating on me for the rest of the game, but I offered to give it him back and he got held back by the steward, so I had to chuck it on the floor. And I did tweet him afterwards saying, I owe you a £5, but no one ever came forward.
You know what's going to happen now? You're going to get offered a hot dog every time you go to the crowd after scoring.
Oh, there's plenty about it afterwards.
And I tell you what are the odds going to be on that, James Gregg? Billy
Odds.
Sharp eating a hot dog.
I'm nothing to do with that.
I'm surprised that ketchup all over you. The ref not think he'd been whacked in the nose or something. You have to get one of them replacement shirts.
It's one of them things. It was weird.
I love that.
It was just there at the moment, and instead of getting the hot dog in my face, I took it away, but then decided to have a bite. I don't know.
I'm a bit like that when people thrust pints of bitters. Strange, isn't it, really, isn't it?
Reminds me of a good story, actually. Is a lad who I know, Elliot Kellis, who plays for Yorkshire County Cricket Club. Good cricketer, who's 12th man in, just got in the squad, sort of 18, 19, and he's carrying the drinks on. And the first morning of this sort of 4-day game, he's walking around eating a bacon and egg sandwich. And anyway, he gets absolutely slaughtered by all the players. They're saying, look, you cannot be doing that. Professional sports club, don't be eating that walking around the boundary. All right, sorry. Next day, he thinks, right, what I'll do is I'll come in with some oranges. So he's sitting there in the dressing room before, and he's sort of peeling these oranges, making a bit of a point, holding them up to the coach and whatever. And he's squeezed one, orange has gone all down his cricket wise. And he's like, oh no. Anyway, Jason Gillespie, the coach, has walked in and he's seen it, and he's gone, he's sort of trying to cover it up. He's like, all right, Kel, what's that? Egg yolk? Like that. Absolutely rumbled. And then after that, he said they were just tearing into it.
I like the Welsh accent as well.
Oh, thanks.
Talking of which, Carlos Carvalho excelled today by saying words to the effect as the good people of Sheffield said, we'll be all right.
Yeah.
I haven't said that right ever.
We'll be all right. We'll be all right. You're all right saying it, aren't you?
You say it, Billy.
You're all right.
You're all right.
Yeah.
What are you like? What are you like at that?
I'm getting there.
Go on, give us a go. Come on.
You're right.
Poor Geordie, but it's fine. That's fine.
Did you have to get one of these translation books, dictionaries, Yorkshire South
Do you know what?
dictionaries?
I'm actually all right with the Yorkshire.
Yeah.
Like it's the Scottish and the Scottish and the Irish lads in the team that I struggle with. So considering down south, it's the Yorkshire accent's fine. It's just the foreign lads, Scottish and Irish boys.
12 clean sheets this season, not bad. 12 clean sheets for you.
Yeah.
And that's the same wherever you ever in the world. Well, Carlos had said you never heard of it in Portugal, didn't he?
What?
Clean sheets.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it wasn't.
No, it's not too bad. I think it's the first season I've had like full season for a few years now. At Brentford, I had a full season, and it's been it was a bit stop-start at Cardiff. I think sort of averaged about 10, 15 games a season. So it's just been nice to get a good run of games going again. And I know myself that I can get better. I'm always improving. I'm always willing to learn, and I just want to keep giving my best for this football club, and I'm really enjoying it at the moment.
Is that easier, having a big run, as a goalkeeper? Or if you're the understudy and you're coming in for the cup games and stuff, it's almost like no pressure, is there? Or
No, I think you want to be playing consistently week in, week out, and also when you are playing consistently, you can learn from maybe mistakes, learn from things that you can do better. Whereas training day in, day out, you can give your all, you can always try and get better, but there's no experience like a match day, to be honest. You can't recreate that situation.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, tell you what, loads going on.
There is.
As ever.
We'll
James will bring us up to date with that, and then we'll go back to Billy and Simon.
We'll rattle through it, and we'll talk about sort of a bit of Welsh controversy as well in a minute. Do this upside down then for a change. Sheffield Sharks, much like the Steelers, double header this weekend. Bristol Flyers on Saturday, play against Plymouth Raiders on Sunday. Also worth reading about that about their courtside announcer in the Sheffield Telegraph this week. If you've got a copy, Reverend Steele, quite interesting actually. Kept me occupied for 10 minutes or so this afternoon. Sheffield Hatters, meanwhile, they won't be defending their Women's Basketball League trophy after they lost in the semi-finals at Sevenoaks last week. Sheffield Steelers, they've got a double header this weekend, as already said. Play against Coventry in the league on Saturday. And then on Sunday, they're playing in the Challenge Cup final, and that's at Cardiff. So the Steelers, despite meant to be being the home side in that, and they've asked for the Coventry game to sort of be moved earlier on in the week. Both of things have been denied. They're not allowed to use the Cardiff dressing room, the home dressing room, despite being the home team. Basically, David Sims explains it a lot better, again, in the Sheffield Telegraph than I will.
I'll have to catch up with that.
But put it this way, lots of controversy, and I just hope that Jonathan Edwards, the Sheffield Steelers captain, is the only Welshman who's got a smile on his face come Sunday evening.
Jonathan Phillips.
Jonathan
Phillips.
Oh, right, okay, Jonathan Phillips.
Sheffield Steelers captain. It's all right.
Sorry,
I
mate.
do these kind of things all the time. Jonathan Edwards. You think
Mick, Mike? Yeah, same.
Yeah,
Triple jumper, isn't he?
Apologies.
Jonathan
He
Edwards.
is, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Good point.
He's been in twice.
He has, yeah.
Jonathan
Good
Phillips.
friend of the programme. Well, I hope he's there and smiling anyway.
He's not a friend of the
Come
programme
Sunday.
anymore. No.
Anyway, we'll move on to rugby. Sheffield Rugby Union, they're up to third in their league. They're playing Sandbach on Saturday, and in the division above, Tigers play against top of the table Caldy. That's bottom versus top, so I hope that the week off for the Tigers has been of some help. In Rugby League, Sheffield Eagles, they travel to Humberside, play against newly relegated Hull KR, who are top of the table after 4 games. They've also got another trip there on the weekend of the 18th and 19th of March. For you Rugby League fans, they've drawn them again in the 4th round of the Challenge Cup. Talk about football, because that's sort of what we're all here for, isn't it? Our non-league sides, Hallam FC and Sheffield FC. We'll start with Hallam. They beat Worsborough 9-1 last week. Jake Curry scored 5 goals, so Ryan Hindley's head will be pretty big, I think, after that one. This week's opposition, Shirebrook, they'll arrive at Sandygate, quivering, I think. Sheffield FC, they're 9th in their division. They lost last week. They play against Market Drayton on Saturday. And the ladies, they got their Women's Super League 2 season underway. Great 2-1 win down away at Millwall. And they play Durham on Sunday, also away from home. Sheffield Wednesday, they will look to bounce back, of course, after that defeat to Leeds last week, dare I mention it. The Blades, well, do the rest. You guys do the rest.
The Blades are at Rochdale, which is, Chris Wilder, absolutely right. The comments he made today about his respect for Keith Hill. He says he always gets caught out of a pint pot, or worse that effect, and he does, doesn't he? His Rochdale teams are always punching above their weight, you'd think, Billy.
Yeah, we played them beginning of the season. I think it was our first home game.
It was tight, wasn't it?
And they came and put pressure on us and had spells in the game where they could have scored a few goals, but the man next to me, actually it wasn't the man next to me, it was Longy, kept some good saves, and
it was only a draw, wasn't it, mate?
we drew 1-1.
You scored? Did you?
I did, from someone, I think it was Chris Hussey, whipped the free kick in, managed to put it away.
An equaliser, yeah.
An equaliser, yeah. So it was a tough game, and we expect the same on Saturday.
Yeah, indeed. Can I ask you about your new strike partner? Well, obviously you permutate around quite a lot of strikers there, but James Hansen's come into the club and made a real impact to start with. Just tell us what he's like to play alongside.
It's exactly what you see from him. He looks a handful as you look at him, but he's a real handful, unselfish player, and he's been a great servant to Bradford. And I know that a lot of his teammates there know he's going to be a big miss. We'd sooner have him on in our starting 11 than be against us, because he has caused us problems in the past. And
there's added variety to the attack. When the threaded ball has not worked or the whipped-in cross, you've got a target, and that's going to create more openings for you as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I think ex-Sheffield Wednesday Beavers, he usually has me in his pocket, if you like. It's one of the first times I've got the better of him, and I think it's to do with big hands occupying the 2 big centre halves, and it did give me more room to manoeuvre.
He's better on the ground than he's given credit for.
I was about to say that.
Really?
I was going to say, excuse the football cliche, because I hate it when people say this, but got good feet for a big man. I hate that phrase, but yeah, he has. He actually does, though, doesn't he? Do you find that?
Moran's got good feet for a big man as well. No, he has. He's technically very good on the ground as well. He's got a hammer of a left foot, hasn't he?
He has in training, like we do crossing and finishing, and some of his finishes have been superb. So, like you say, it gets labelled sort of the bigger guys are supposedly not so good with their feet, but that's definitely not with hands. You say some of the finishes in training, you step back and think, oh, it's a great finish.
And obviously he was one of 2 or 3 signings. Samir Carruthers has come in, and also
Jay O'Shea.
Jay O'Shea. And I should know a bit of Jesuit sport. That's my one for tonight. You know, those 2 guys, how have they impressed you?
Both great lads, both settled in really well. Both technically very good. They've brought different options to the team, and the gaffer's used them both in recent weeks. Both got a goal in them as well. I think if Samir came on the other day and he was the best player on the pitch for 20 minutes, he was all over the place, and he even said himself, the one where he went through with a Maisie, his legs just give up on him at the end, but that'd have been a great piece of skill if he could have pulled that off.
Yeah. There's a mentality in the camp, Simon, and you can perhaps see it at the back. I don't see the word draw featuring in any preparation for a game. It's win, 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 win. I know it's easier to say that than do it, but that seems to be the total mindset.
Yeah, and I think that's the belief that we've got amongst the squad. We go into every game believing that we can win, and this, I think, as you've seen this season, there's been times where we've gone in at 0-0 half time and been camped in the other team's half, and it's taken last-minute goals to beat teams. But we've got that never say die attitude, and I think that comes from a good group of people. I mean, the team spirit here is fantastic. Like, everyone gets on with each other. There's no animosity when someone isn't playing. Everyone's pulling in the right direction, and when you've got that at the football club, I mean, it's testament to the manager for bringing not just players of fantastic ability, but players who have got a fantastic mentality as well and want to do well for the football club.
In terms of enjoyment, Billy, where does this season rank in your career?
Tell you in 12 games time. No, it's every single game has been eventful, like Simon's just said. We are an exciting team to watch, and I think the fans are enjoying themselves. But a draw will be a good result when we need one.
Indeed, yeah.
But
if you have to settle one.
We are enjoying it as a squad. We can't wait for the next game to come, and you know, we're looking forward to the 12 games ahead. It's going to be very tough, but you've got to enjoy it, and hopefully we can enjoy doing well.
Can you still enjoy it when it gets to this business end of the season? I mean, these games mean so much now. Can you still enjoy it as much as you did before?
Yeah, at the minute, the lads are just staying focused. The belief is there, and you know, we had a little bit of a blip, I think 4 or 5 games ago. Yeah. We've stuck together, turned the corner, and we are playing some really good stuff at the minute, but with 12 games to go, it's just about the results now. So everybody knows what we need to do. We're in a great position, but still a lot of points to play for.
Well, a great result coming in here tonight, 'cause it's been a big win. It's been a big win for us, but I hope for you as well. I hope you've enjoyed it, guys. It's been a pleasure to have you, Billy, again, and to meet you, Simon, also. James, thank you very much indeed, and also grateful thanks to Mike McCarthy, ex-Sheffield Wednesday. Thank you to you. Repeat at 11 o'clock if you missed, or it's on my YouTube channel later tonight. Thanks ever so much. See you again next week. Bye. Bye.